I spent 2 years tracking 30 tiny habits that nobody talks about. And here's the weird part. The people who ignored them, still stuck in the same place. The ones who didn't, completely different lives by now. Most self-improvement advice is garbage. Wake up at 5 a.m. Meditate for an hour. Cool. But what about the tiny psychological shifts that actually rewire your brain? The ones that take 30 seconds but change everything? Today, I'm breaking down 30 micro habits that psychology research says will quietly transform your life. And if you stick around until the end, I'll share the one habit that ties all of these together. Let's go. Habit 1. The 2-minute rule for decisions. Here's something nobody tells you. Decision fatigue is killing your potential. I had a friend, let's call him Jake. Smart guy, but he'd spend 20 minutes deciding what to eat for lunch. Every single day. By 3 p.m., he had zero mental energy for actual important decisions. So I told him about the 2-minute rule. If a decision takes less than 2 minutes to execute, make it in under 10 seconds. Breakfast, whatever's easiest. Outfit, grab the first clean thing. Suddenly, Jake had mental bandwidth for decisions that actually mattered. Within months, he started a side business. Coincidence? I don't think so. Habit 2. Name your emotions out loud. This sounds ridiculous until you try it. Neuroscience shows that when you label an emotion, literally say, I'm feeling anxious or I'm frustrated, your amygdala calms down. It's called affect labeling, and it's like a cheat code for emotional regulation. Next time you're overwhelmed, don't push it down. Just say it out loud. I'm stressed about this deadline. Watch how fast your brain chills out. And look, here at Mind Decoded, we're obsessed with these little psychological hacks that nobody else covers. Because honestly, big transformations don't come from big changes. They come from these tiny, invisible shifts that compound over time. All right, let's keep going. Habit 3. The third-person self-talk trick. Want to stop overthinking? Talk to yourself like you're someone else. Studies show that when you refer to yourself in the third person, like Alex needs to finish this project, you create psychological distance from your emotions. You think clearer, less drama, more logic. I started doing this during stressful moments. Instead of, I can't handle this, it's, he's got this. He's done harder things. Sounds weird. Works incredibly well. Habit 4. The keystone question. Every morning, ask yourself one question. What's the one thing that, if I do it today, will make everything else easier? That's your keystone task, not your to-do list, not 47 things. One thing. For me, it's usually writing. If I write first thing, the rest of my day flows. If I don't, chaos. Find your keystone. Protect it. Habit 5. The future self visualization. 30 seconds. Before bed, spend 30 seconds visualizing your future self, thanking you for today's choices. Sounds cheesy, but here's why it works. Your brain doesn't distinguish well between imagined and real experiences. When you visualize future, you're grateful for today's workout or today's focused work session. You're literally rewiring your motivational circuits. Try it tonight. Picture yourself 6 months from now, looking back at today, saying, I'm so glad I did that. Watch your decisions change. Habit 6. The energy audit. Weekly check-in. Every Sunday, write down 3 things that drained your energy this week. Then, eliminate one of them next week. Could be a toxic conversation, a pointless meeting, scrolling before bed. Doesn't matter what it is. Cut it. I did this for a month and realized I was spending 3 hours a week in a group chat that made me feel worse. Left it. Got 3 hours of my life back. Simple. Habit 7. The curiosity reframe. When something annoys you, ask, why is this interesting? Instead of, why is this annoying? Traffic. Interesting. What's everyone rushing toward? Coworker being difficult? Interesting. What's going on in their life? This tiny reframe shifts you from victim mode to observer mode, and observers don't get triggered. They get curious. Habit 8. The 3-breath reset before responding. Before you reply to a text, email, or person, take 3 deep breaths. This creates a 10-second gap between stimulus and response, and in that gap, you become the person you want to be instead of the reactive version of yourself. I started doing this during arguments. 3 breaths before responding. The number of fights that just dissolved? Incredible. Habit 9. Celebrate micro wins physically. When you complete a task, do something physical. Fist pump, stand up, whatever. Your brain releases dopamine when you physically celebrate wins, even tiny ones. And dopamine reinforces the behavior. You're literally training your brain to love progress. Finished an email? Fist pump. Completed a workout? Mini dance. I know it sounds goofy. Do it anyway. Habit 10. The no complaints hour. Pick 1 hour a day where you don't complain about anything. Someone cuts you off in traffic during this hour? Observe it, don't complain. Work's annoying? Notice it, don't vocalize it. Here's what happens. You realize how much mental energy you waste on complaining, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Start with 1 hour, then expand. Habit 11, the reverse gratitude practice. Instead of listing what you're grateful for, list what would suck if it disappeared. Your health, your best friend, hot water. This hits different than regular gratitude because your brain is wired to notice loss more than gain. Use that bias to your advantage. I do this every Monday. What would I miss if it vanished today? Instantly makes me appreciate what's right in front of me. Habit 12, the one-tab rule. Only keep one browser tab open at a time. Close everything else. I know, sounds impossible, but attention is your most valuable resource, and every open tab is a tiny leak. I forced myself to do this for a week. My focus went from goldfish level to laser level. Try it. Close the tabs. Feel your brain thank you. Habit 13, the delay judgment by 24 hours rule. When someone does something that upsets you, wait 24 hours before deciding how you feel about it. Most of the time, what feels like a massive betrayal in the moment is just a miscommunication, or a bad day, or nothing. This habit has saved so many relationships for me. Pause. Sleep on it. Tomorrow, you will have better judgment than right now you. Habit 14, the energy leak detector. Pay attention to people who make you feel tired after hanging out with them. Not physically tired, emotionally drained. Those are energy leaks. I had a friend who, after every conversation, left me feeling exhausted. Took me 2 years to realize that's not friendship. That's energy extraction. Once I set boundaries, my life got lighter. Protect your energy ruthlessly. Habit 15, the 10-minute ugliness rule for creative work. Give yourself permission to create something terrible for 10 minutes. Perfectionism kills creativity, but if you tell yourself this is going to suck and that's fine, your brain relaxes and lets ideas flow. I use this for writing. First 10 minutes, pure garbage, but then something clicks. The good stuff comes after you get the bad stuff out. Habit 16, the single sense focus technique. When you're overwhelmed, focus on one sense at a time. What do you hear right now? What do you feel on your skin? What do you see? This is a grounding technique that pulls you out of your head and into the present moment. Anxiety lives in the future. Depression lives in the past. Your senses live right now. Use them. Habit 17, the no phone first hour rule. Don't touch your phone for the first hour after waking up. I know everyone says this, but here's why it actually matters. The first input your brain receives sets the tone for your entire day. News, cortisol spike. Social media, comparison spiral. Start with your own thoughts instead. I started doing this 6 months ago. My mornings went from reactive to intentional. Game changer. Habit 18, the future memory trick. Before a big event, imagine yourself looking back on it a year from now. What will you remember? This shifts your focus from anxiety to meaning. Instead of what if I mess up, it becomes what do I want to remember from this? I did this before a major presentation. Instead of panicking, I asked, a year from now, what do I want to have said? Completely changed my energy. Habit 19, the movement snack every hour. Every hour, move your body for 60 seconds. Anything. Jump, stretch, dance. Your body isn't designed to sit for 8 hours straight. And when your body's stuck, your mind gets stuck too. I set a timer. Every hour, 1 minute of movement. My energy levels throughout the day, completely different. Plus, it breaks up mental blocks like magic. Habit 20, the reverse engineer your energy strategy. Track when you feel most energized during the day. Then schedule your hardest work for those times. For me, it's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm unstoppable. After lunch, I'm a potato. So I stopped fighting it. Deep work in the morning, emails in the afternoon. Stop trying to force productivity during your low energy windows. Work with your biology, not against it. Habit 21, the identity statement before temptation. When you're tempted to break a habit, say, I'm the kind of person who, and finish it with your identity. I'm the kind of person who works out. I'm the kind of person who keeps promises. This shifts the decision from willpower to identity, and identity always wins. I started doing this with junk food. I'm the kind of person who fuels their body well. Suddenly, saying no got easier. Habit 22, the preemptive reset for bad days. When you wake up in a bad mood, immediately do something that always makes you feel better. For me, it's a cold shower or a walk. For you, might be music or calling a friend. Doesn't matter what it is, just have a reset button ready. Bad days compound if you let them run wild. Interrupt the spiral early. Your future self will thank you. thank you. Habit 23. The strategic ignorance filter. Consciously choose what information you let into your brain. Not all knowledge is valuable. Celebrity drama doesn't serve you. Endless political debates drains you. Be ruthlessly selective. I unfollowed 80% of accounts on social media. Now my feed is just things that make me better or make me laugh. My mental clarity, night and day. Habit 24. The invisible progress journal. Once a week, write down progress that nobody else sees. Maybe you didn't snap at someone. Maybe you resisted scrolling. Maybe you stuck to your budget. These invisible wins matter. They're building your character when nobody's watching. And character is what carries you when motivation fades. Habit 25. The connection over content rule. When you're with someone, prioritize connection over your phone content. Sounds obvious, but how many times have you been present while mentally checking out? I made a rule. Phone face down when I'm with people. Suddenly, conversations got deeper. Relationships got stronger. Try it for a week. Habit 26. The backward planning technique. Instead of planning forward from today, plan backward from your goal. If you want X by December 2026, what needs to happen by September 2026? By June? By next month? By tomorrow? This makes big goals feel less abstract and more actionable. You're not guessing. You're working backward from certainty. Habit 27. The stop mid-sentence trick for focus. When you're working on something and need to stop mid-sentence or mid-task. Your brain hates incompletion, so when you come back, you'll have momentum immediately instead of staring at a blank page wondering where to start. Hemingway did this. I tried it. Works like a charm. Leave yourself a breadcrumb. Habit 28. The compliment strangers practice. Once a day, genuinely compliment a stranger. I like your jacket. That's a great idea. Whatever. Just make it real. Here's why this works. It trains you to notice the good in the world instead of the bad. Plus, you'll make someone's day, and making someone's day makes your day better, too. Habit 29. The single focus Sunday reset. Every Sunday, pick one area of life to reset. Just one. This week, maybe it's your workspace. Next week, your sleep schedule. The week after, your diet. Trying to fix everything at once is how you fix nothing. One thing at a time. Let it compound. Habit 30. The future self letter once a month. Once a month, write a short letter to yourself. 6 months from now. Tell future you what you're working on, what you hope happens, what you're afraid of. Then seal it and read it 6 months later. I did this for a year. Reading those letters back? Mind-blowing. You'll see how much you've grown and how many of your fears were just noise. The one habit that ties everything together. All right, here's the big one. The habit that makes all of these work. It's this. Show up even when you don't feel like it. That's it. Not motivation, not inspiration, just showing up. Because here's the truth. Motivation is a myth. Discipline is what builds the life you want. All 30 of these habits, they only work if you do them on the days you don't feel like it. That's where transformation happens. In the unglamorous, boring, nobody's watching moments. Final thoughts. Look, nobody's going to do all 30 of these perfectly. That's not the point. Pick 3. Start there. Do them for 30 days. Then add 3 more. Because here's what happens when you stack tiny habits over time. By 2026, you won't recognize your life. And I mean that in the best way possible. Small, boring, consistent habits. That's the secret. That's how you build a life you don't need to escape from. So start today. Pick one habit from this video. Just one. Do it tomorrow. Then the next day. Then the next. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Mind Decoded for more psychology-backed strategies that actually work. And drop a comment. Which habit are you starting with? I'll see you in the next one.